What's up, guys, and welcome back. Today we are finally doing something that I've been talking about for quite some time, and it is this kit right here. I talked to you guys a bit in the past about the Whiteline roll center kit, or the bump steer kit, some people call it. Essentially what that is going to do is help with steering input, but this kit's gonna help even more. And we're doing a couple different things today. So, you'll see I have the back of the car jacked up just like this. What I have here is the Whiteline front and rear Swaybar kit with their Endlinks, adjustable Endlinks, and then also I have the Whiteline adjustable control arm, so I can finally dial in my rear camber just a little bit better. So I actually went ahead and did the front Swaybar already because it's kind of hard to do. It's kind of hard to wiggle the Swaybar out of there, and it's just a weird angle, and I can get the rear of the car a lot higher than I can the front just because of the way the car works. So I decided to just show you guys this part because it's all kind of tied together. Everything is going to be going on at the same time, and it should be pretty easy to do. The front Swaybar is really going to help with steering feel and making sure that the front of the car stays really flat and level. The most performance benefits you guys are going to see from this kit is going to be from this rear Swaybar, because locking in the rear and setting it up on a more aggressive setting is going to really help with something that plagues the WRX, which is understeer in corners. So this is really going to help rotate the rear end around on hard corners, and it's going to improve the feel of this car and handling so much. So as for the control arms, we did a video on rear control arms at one point in the past, so I'm not going to go too deep on these, but essentially this slot down here allows us to move the bolt mounting point in and out, and it pushes the bottom of the wheel in and out away from the frame of the car, which is right there. That's the mounting point, the stock lower control arm. So that is how we can dial in camber. Now, when you're doing this, you will need a professional alignment. So I'll be doing a string alignment today just to get the car safe to drive, and then I'm taking it in to a shop to have a professional rack of alignment done, and I'll be asking for pretty specific specs. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. We'll talk about everything at the end of the video. I'll talk about all the specific specs you guys want to do on your car, how to set up your car correctly. There are some track specific settings, but we're gonna be going for a really good setup, alignment setup for street driving, for comfortability, but also for just general purpose performance. So, all right, let's get into it. So first step here we're gonna be doing is pulling off the stock control arms, and then we're going to be removing the stock Swaybar after that. So now that that is off, we can take off the, we don't even have to remove this end link, which is great. All we have to do is take these bolts off to remove the back of the Swaybar. Before I do that, I'm just gonna do the same thing with the other control arm on the rear. Or I'm sorry, on the other side. All right guys, so now we're just using a 12mm to break the mounting hardware free from the for the Swaybar here. So one thing I wanted to point out to you guys is there are these little hooks on the back of these, on the tops of these, and it helps when you go to install these, because obviously if you only have one person, it's hard to do both sides at the same time. So if you can get this on and then hook it on the frame, there's no bolts in here, but it's still being held up. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side now. So I'm just unhooking the tops of those, and let me pull this out. Beautiful. Gonna do the opposite with the new one. Just bounce it there for a second. Then we're gonna use those hooks just to hold it in place again. So one thing you guys notice is that a lot of these, so the Endlinks and little gold bar here, the little stopper piece, these are already installed, and that's because I did get this new. So obviously it's used. So sorry, I meant I did get this used off of a friend that I met out here. Awesome guy. Thank you for getting me this kit. But yeah. So that's that. Now that I have this installed, all I have to do is go in and make sure these are lined up correctly. And yeah, that's it. And of course, while I'm back here, I can't help but ooh and ah how pretty these calipers still are after so long. The guys who did the powder coating back in Connecticut did such an amazing job, and they are, you know, they're pretty dirty, but these are ceramic coated on the outside here, and they are just pristine. Yeah. So next stage, now that we have these, one thing I wanted to show you guys is on these Endlinks, we have these little Delrin metal spacers that go right here, and essentially you can change the position of where these Endlinks sit in the control arm here as it comes down. And you can space it either direction. So full soft would be spacers on two spacers on one side, and then this middle pole gets, or the middle post, this little thing gets pushed over, and then opposite in the other direction, and then two in the middle is just, you know, perfectly in the middle. Same thing with these three dots, three holes here. So there's one here that you can't see. There's basically three you can choose from. So the closer you go to the bar in the middle, the more aggressive this is going to be. So I have it set at the middle one, and then same thing with these this spacers here. So I'm going to see how it feels. I don't think, you know, full hard. If I'm going on a track, you know, I'll probably switch it over to something more stiff. But for now, right in the middle, moderate seems to be probably the best bet. So of course, we'll do a full separate video of how all of this feels with the new bump steer kit, the new control arms, Swaybar kit, etc. So yeah, let's get these lower control arms installed. Before I do that, I just wanted to give you guys a quick side-by-side of the OEM control arms and the aftermarket ones. So as I said, they have this slot, the distance, the overall length, I think is about the same. So if you want to dial in the exact same as stock, it would be like right here. And I'll take a tape measure and basically measure the edge of this hole all the way to the edge of this hole. And then when I install these, I'll do edge of this hole all the way and measure it to the exact same. That way the distance is the same, and then maybe I'll adjust it from there for it to add a little bit more camber, because I have been rubbing in the rear quite a bit. Actually, that's not true. Only when I hit really, really bad bumps. So like I said, these are used. They only put about a year of driving on them, but seem to be in still really good shape, better than these cruddy old rusted OEM ones. So yeah, so let's get this installed now. So one thing I forgot to show you guys is essentially this cross piece here. So it's gonna attach right there and go down to the control arm right here. What I'll do is just pre-thread this just a little bit. Let that hang down for now. And then we'll go with the control arm up in there. So this is the end result, guys. We have our control arms with our little camber dial here. So the way this works is this lobe, when you tighten this down to a certain point, you take a wrench and you can turn this, and as you turn this, it pushes this disc against the little knob here, and it pushes where that bolt is aligned in that slot, left or right. So right now I have it just right about in the center, maybe a little bit right of center, which means more camber. So like I said, I'm having a dial, an alignment done, so with that alignment, they'll be able to change that perfectly the way I need it. So I have all of these original mounting bolts down. This is the original OEM bolt, this one and this one too. You end up saving the one that gets replaced. And then you also end up using the aftermarket bolt to mount the cross beam here. So this adds more rigidity. Here is our tightened down new Swaybar and Endlink in there. One thing that you need to do is there are two little nuts right here and one down here on the other side of this Endlink. You need to make sure you take a wrench and tighten those down onto the gold piece. Don't tighten them down the other way. Tighten them down onto the gold piece, or up onto the gold piece if it's the bottom one. But yeah, once that's done, we still have this massive, or now we have this massive, really, really stiff setup, and it's awesome. So yeah. So I am super excited to see how all of this feels, guys. It looks really cool. I'm sure I'm a little sad. I wish I could always buy new components, but the guy I bought this from, it came with all the hardware I needed, no issues at all. I trust the source, so if you guys can save a quick buck or save a little bit of money by buying used parts, I always make sure you get it from a good source. So yeah, it looks really cool. I can't wait to see how this feels. Just a quick reminder for everyone, you will need to do an alignment, so I will be doing that shortly just to make sure that the back wheels are not too toe out or toe in. I'm getting that full alignment tomorrow, so yeah, super excited. So thank you guys so much for watching. This car is turning into a street monster. I have the power, and now I should have some amazing, really good handling too. So who knows, maybe I'll upgrade my coilovers next, maybe look at the 510 series, but I think this is going to be it for performance for quite a bit. I have a couple small things I have an idea for, but the next is really finishing, doing the finishing touches on how this car looks. I still haven't done a rear diffuser, a good lip kit, side skirts, anything like that. Carbon fiber hood is coming very soon, so make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and let us know what you guys want me to do to the car next. So cool. Hopefully we'll see you guys soon, and make sure you guys drop in next week for the next video. All right, peace.